Hello everyone, Brad Spencer here, and I want to talk to you guys today about engineering your traffic strategy, how every newbie can see automatic success. Okay, so what exactly does engineering your traffic strategy mean? Okay, it means a couple of things. Let's just zoom in over here. The first thing is that most things that people do take multiple attempts to succeed at, right? Like when you first start learning how to drive a car, you don't immediately know how to, how much to push the gas pedal down, and even when you get a new car, it changes, so, everyone's always learning. So most things take a lot of times to get good at. Traffic to your websites and your offers is exactly the same way. What we're going to do is we're going to repeat what works. Now this is, you might be saying right now to me, duh, Brad, I know that. You know that. Okay, well then why aren't you doing it? And maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But a lot of people aren't, because a lot of people are jumping around with shiny object syndrome and they're trying all this different stuff rather than sticking to what they know is already working. Now, the way to do this really comes down to one simple word. The one word that makes this possible, this whole engineering your traffic strategy thing that I'm going to be teaching you today, is templates. Now, if any one of you knows my business, and I talked about this in various products and bonuses and videos, is that I template most of my business. In fact, 80% of my business is a template that I've created and constantly tweaked, which is what I'll talk to you guys about today. All right. And the reason this works is pretty simple. Let's say, for example, that if you did a series of steps, like 5 things, and you got 10 visitors off of doing those 5 steps. Now, don't assume anything more than that, just go with it, alright? So, it stands to reason then, logically, that if we want to get 100 visitors to our website, you just do that same set of steps 10 times, right? Okay, simple math. 10 times 10 equals 100. Okay. Most people don't do this though. They just give up. They look at the 10 visitors that they got off the steps and they're like, oh my god, I'm not making tons of money and I'm not replacing my job. And they don't realize is that if something works and gets you 10 results, 10 visitors or $10 or something, to make $100 a day or get 100 visitors to your site, you just got to do it 10 times. Now that's it. That's all it is. That's internet marketing success right there. All right? Don't be the person that just gives up after seeing a small result one time. Okay? Now, the exact strategy that I've got for you here, let's just zoom over here a little bit. Okay? Let's, our starter scenario that we're going to work with today, guys, is you guys are getting this bonus because you bought Trophy Pigeon by Chris Munch. Okay? Now, Chris is a good friend of mine. He's a really smart guy. He's been an affiliate of mine in the past. Really like the guy. Think a lot of him. Okay? And so he lays out a strategy in his Trophy Pigeon book about creating link bait content and creating these articles that people link to because of their ego and stuff. Okay? Now, how can we use this repeatedly? All right, because we want to do this multiple times. We don't want to create one of these articles. We want to systematically create lots of these articles to get lots of leverage, to get lots of potential JV partners, because when you link to people in these types of awards, they're going to get your attention. They're going to pay attention to you. They're going to be like, hey, why don't you come write a guest blog post? Hey, how about you become a regular contributor? Hey, let's do an interview for my blog. You're going to get multiple opportunities by doing this because you're stroking someone's ego and making them happy, and it's a good way to network. Okay, so here's a sample quote engineering of your traffic for this specific strategy that he talks about. Now, this is a bonus, so I want to just give you an example of how I would go about doing this myself and how you can copy me and really leverage what Chris is talking about in Trophy Pigeon. Okay? Go to stumbleupon.com and create an account. It's going to take you 2 minutes. It's absolutely free. You're going to choose a bunch of niches that you're interested in. They have like 160, I think, or something. Okay? Now, StumbleUpon is basically a crowdsourcing engine where people are sharing cool content all over the internet, and sharing it for other people, and you either thumb it up or thumb it down. And what you do is you click a little button that says stumble, and then you do this until you find a really cool post, like 10 WordPress plugins that'll get more backlinks to your blog. Okay, that's something that people are going to want to share because it's cool content and it's good publication. So you would go take this article and enter in Google without these quotation marks, as you can see below, related, the symbol colon, which is the two period looking things right above each other, the blogaddress.com/article you like.html. Now obviously you know what I'm talking about there. Just don't put the HTTP www part of a web address in there, and just put that into Google with related colon in front of it, and enter that in. And what Google's going to do is it's going to give you a ton of articles that are similar to this, and you're going to go search through that and find stuff and compile the results into a link bait post like what he's talking about in Trophy Pigeon. Okay, now this is really cool because what you can do with this is you can systematically create these types of Trophy Pigeon articles, if you will, these link bait articles, and you can write all these things down. Like you can write every single step like this into a template and pass this off to an Odesk virtual assistant. Odesk.com is an outsourcing site where you can hire people per hour over the internet. Odesk monitors them, handles the payments, they bill you, and they transfer the money. You don't have to worry about hiring people or anything like that. You just give a very specific template direction sheet, basically writing down all this stuff I just shared with you, and you can get someone to do this for $1, $2, $3 an hour in another country that's educated, speaks pretty good English, but they're just overseas, so the prices are a lot different. Okay, this is really powerful stuff. Now let me ask you a question here, guys. How much more traffic would you be getting if you could produce 4 or 5 of these types of articles for all your blogs every single week? Because you have these virtual assistants doing these types of article compilations, and you just go in and look, make sure they're all right, and you put it down, or you put it on your blog, and then they'll find it in Google, because a lot of times people have Google alerts set up every time their name or blog is mentioned, and then they go visit and they're like, oh cool, this person thought my article was pretty neat, and they're going to contact me now because I linked to them. And this is how this happens. And you do this multiple times, 4 or 5 of these articles a week on all of your different niche blogs or something like that, and you've got some powerful traffic generation strategy on all different kinds of topics. Okay, now the key here, and this is the point with engineering your traffic strategy, this is why I call it engineering, because you're creating a system and you're engineering a system based on what you're looking to achieve, is that you've developed an exact duplicatable template to do this over and over and over again. And this is really powerful for your business. And you can do this with any strategy, whether it's website building, email writing, anything like that. You can absolutely crush it by just engineering what you're doing, duplicating it over and over, and passing it off to a virtual assistant. Okay? Let them do the manual labor. Use your job as the leader of your business is not to be doing work in your business. And this is the big problem with newbies, and I'm coming to the end of the video. This is all I've got for you, but I want to share these kind of bonus tips with you here. Is your job, you are, as an entrepreneur, internet business person, is to be the CEO of your business. Now, I'm sure you would probably agree, the CEO of General Motors is not going and answering and opening his mail every day. He is not answering his emails. He is not answering the phone when it rings. He's got a secretary that does that, or an assistant that does that for him. Okay? He is focused on strategy to grow the amount of cars that General Motors is selling with less and less employees, and fixing problems throughout the business, strategic issues. He's got people to build the cars. The CEO of General Motors is not on the factory assembly line putting cars together. Let's get real here. And you shouldn't be doing that in your business. Most people approach their internet marketing business as trying to be the CEO, and they're on the assembly line assembling cars. This is madness. This is why you're not having the success that you want, is you don't have these duplicatable templates, and this is why you need to engineer the things that you do in your business. Okay? Pretty simple stuff. not too complex, and it doesn't matter how much money you have right now. Almost anyone can afford to do these, even if you just hired somebody for 1 hour to compile all the research and then you assemble the article for yourself. Whatever. $2, you could get this done. This is an hour's worth of work tops to create one of these articles, and you can absolutely rock the house. So this is Brad Spencer here with Engineering Your Traffic Strategy, a bonus to Trophy Pigeon by Chris Munch. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you purchasing my products, and I'm very grateful having you on my list and being a part of my business. It means the world to me. Thank you very much. If you have any questions about what I talked about or any issue at all in your business, please go visit bradspencerhelpdesk.com, and I'll be happy to answer your questions as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.